Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Olivia J, and I do not need closure in order to move on from a relationship. I have learned that early on that closure for me is not really needed in order for me to move on. Let's face it, things come to an end, whether they're platonic or romantic. Relationships come to an end, whether you see it coming, whether you saw it coming or not. Things, just end. And sometimes you just don't get the closure that you want. And you think that you need that closure to move on. Let me tell you something. You think that other person needs closure or thinking about you? They done moved on to 2, 3, 50, 11 people while you over there stuck in that same spot, thinking about them, thinking about that relationship. And of course, that's natural to wonder what went wrong. But you can't just sit in that because they're out there living their life, not thinking about you. Why are you giving them a second thought where they didn't give you the common courtesy to even tell you why they're breaking up with you, why the relationship is ended? Even if you ask them why is this ending? Why are you choosing to end this relationship? And they choose not to give you an answer or the closure that you're looking for. Whatever questions you may ask, they don't want to give you any type of answer or response. Count that as a win, because we like good communicators over here. And if they can't have a civil conversation with you, then what did you really lose? And sometimes when we are in a space of needing closure and obsessing over the past, that we're stuck in the past. We just can't move on. And sometimes when you're holding on to the need of closure in order to move on, that when you're in that type of space, you're still emotionally connected to that person. And you stay in a space where you're obsessing over the previous relationship. You're doing everything like play by play, like, did I have the right tone with this person on this day? Maybe I could have done this better. What did I do wrong? Did I say this incorrectly? Did that piss him off when I did that? You just go over every little thing in your head about that relationship, and it just holds you hostage. To be free, you have to free yourself from needing closure. You have to find closure within yourself, because sometimes you're just not going to get it. And you have to come to a realization like, hey, things doesn't work out, and I am going to move on. I'm going to give myself some time, not a lot of time. I'm going to give myself some time to heal and move on, and hopefully the next relationship works out. Hey, Editor Olivia J is here. I meant to say this while I was talking about still being emotionally connected to that person. When you're still emotionally connected to that person, it's harder to let go. You still have feelings, you still harboring feelings for that person, and sometimes it's hard to move on when you still have feelings and love for that person. And of course, feelings just don't go away overnight, but you still have to allow yourself time to, you still have to allow yourself the opportunity to release those feelings and move on. And sometimes when we're still emotionally connected to that person, those emotions can turn into bitterness and resentment, and you do not want to carry that with you, especially into other relationships. So that's all I wanted to say. I forgot to mention that. So all right, let's get back. And sometimes when you don't get that closure, and part of obsessing over that past relationship, you're obsessing with their new relationship. You're stalking their social media and their new partner's social media, and it just gets to be a bit too much. Like, stalking their social media does nothing but hurt your feelings even more, hold you back even more, and you're not going to get the closure that you're looking for stalking on social media. Words of Mary Mary. take the shackles off my feet so I can dance with my future husband or my future wife, whatever you want, whatever you like, whatever you prefer. Let that go so you can move on. Sometimes you just have to find closure within yourself so you can just move on. I would hate for some people to still be so caught up in their past relationship and not move on to the other side where they can meet someone who are more deserving on them and who will treat them right, and that relationship can blossom to something so beautiful. And sometimes, listen, if you pray to ask God to remove anybody who is not for you, not good for you, who is bringing you down, doing you harm, that prayer may be answered, and the answer will be the removal of your partner. That's you can't get any more closure than that. So let me know in the comments if, one, you're the type of person that doesn't need closure in order to move on, or what experience have you had that made you realize that you don't actually need closure to move on, or any tips to help people move on from a relationship. Go ahead and drop down and get your ego on in the comments, and let's chat it up. Drop down and get your ego on, girl. Ay. Drop down and get your ego on, girl. Ay. Ay. Drop down and get your ego on, girl. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.